football with Mike Bellotti.
Pooch kick's going to come up short, going to bounce, squirt onto the ground, be picked up, and finally, there's Stewart, gets outside, he's got room, 30, got speed, 40, gonna have to get an angle on him, 40, down to the 30, he'll go to the 20, he's to the 10, no penalty flags, can you believe it?
What a way for the phenomenal freshman to start his career at Autzen Stadium. Jonathan Stewart takes the opening kickoff all the way. The first time he ever touches it at Autzen, Oregon. Never trails a dominant win over the Montana Grizzlies. Hi, everyone. Joe Giansanti along with Coach Bellotti. First of all, what a way to start the game. Last year, a little different as it came back on the flag, but this year, great return by Stewart.
Yeah, we started the same way, but we got this one to stick. And obviously, nice deal for Jonathan to start his career there with that type of thing. Brought the crowd to his feet, got them excited, got us going a little bit. And, you know, I thought he slowed down just a little bit there, and then he got a second win and finished it, and I was glad he didn't get caught. And he did a great job. Energized the crowd and the team.
I was saying to Anthony, it was a little bit like, you know, a guy that's come up, and a lot of us expected him in the majors, and he goes up first at bat, he hits a home run or something, and it was great. Out of the park. It was great to see. And for your team overall, a dominant win. Could have been more points scored, but still, Montana, probably the best program in Division I AA, and you took care of business and did dominate them, especially defensively.
Yeah, I thought our defense played extremely well. I think, that, again, they did everything that Montana could throw at them and took it. A great pressure in the defensive line. I thought Bellotti, Nada, Darius Sander did some really good things. I was pleased with his development. Our defensive line made their life miserable. Didn't really allow them to get much going because they tried to do a lot of misdirection stuff, run us early, could not get it going. Our secondary came up with some big picks. Aaron Gibson, Rodney Woods, huge plays there. We had some good plays in the kicking game. We reduced penalties, got more points. You know, there's a lot of things to take positive. I don't think our offense was as consistent as we needed to be. Certainly in the running game, something we need to work on this week.
Yeah, people talk a little bit about the red zone and getting down there. And, you know, the good news is Paul Martinez is lights out right now, and he has 11 field goals. I know that you want to see your team get touchdowns, though. What do you think's happening once you get inside the 25, 30-yard line?
Well, I'll tell you what, watching yesterday's film, we dropped some passes that were key. If you move down there, and again, even a 5 to 7 yard pass becomes crucial to complete down there because every yardage is really hard fought. And again, we're not a power running team per se yet. We need to develop that mentality, that philosophy. But again, given the spread offense, that is difficult sometimes, and we're working on that in terms of developing the offense for the red zone.
Let's take a look at it. A lot to like over this Montana Grizzly team at Autzen Stadium. 58,000, of course, the first quarter. Ducks coming out onto the field for the first time. The yellow tops. Always great to be at home, isn't it, Coach?
It is. And we've got such a multitude of uniforms to wear. The kids have told me they want to wear them all this year, so we'll see what happens.
Gonna bounce, squirt onto the ground, be picked up, and finally, there's Stewart, gets outside, he's got room, 30, got speed, 40, gonna have to get an angle on him, 40, down to the 30, he'll go to the 20, he's to the 10, no penalty flags, can you believe it?
It's just as fun to watch the second time around, isn't it?
Absolutely. Great job by him. Great job by Justin Andrews pulling off that block or just not doing anything behind the ball. This disrupts the timing of the coverage team, a little bit like Ricky Whittle used to. Let it bounce and let him get a little excited and then take it out and go. But really pleased. Again, great speed. Jonathan has that type of speed. When he got past his first guy right there, he sort of started slow up a little bit. Then he put on the second gear and had it to finish. Great job. Great blocking. Just a great play to start the season.
And what a way to start the game. Of course, he was injured later in the game, and we'll update you on that as we get going. But you can see the students there going nuts, the fans. What a way to start the season. I feel bad for the people who weren't in the stadium yet to see that electrifying play. Defense, dominant, Coach. After the kickoff, Waller loses 2, and then the Grizz going backwards all day.
And waiting for the snap, Washington. Now goes up, now the ball snapped right between his legs. He came up to talk to his center. The ball was snapped, and it's all the way back inside the 20 or 21.
Again, that's the crowd, the noise in Autzen Stadium. Teams are always a little sketchy. They don't know how to handle it, don't know what to do. It gets them excited. They can't hear very well. That's great job by our crowd, making it a tough place to play.
And pretty fortunate. The ball just kind of settled down there for Hilliard to pick up. So Montana averts the disaster there. They have to punt. So Oregon gets great field position. Terrence Whitehead for 4 yards here as he fights forward to the 37-yard line. Now looking for more.
And back to throw. First time swinging out wide open. Whitehead, and he's got nobody on him. 30. Cuts inside a man at the 20. Inside, still on his feet inside of the 15-yard line.
Nice touch throw by Kellen. Great catch by Terrence. And nice job to make the first guy miss. Just, again, one of the aspects of getting rid of the ball quickly, spreading the field. Terrence does a nice job here making the first guy miss, and then again gets key yards, gets out of bounds.
So Clemens on first down, going to pick up 6 yards here on the play to the 9-yard line. After this, coach, he had a run for no gain, so a 3rd and 4 coming up here to Tim Dane. You know, this play is there.
Yeah, it's right in and out of his hands. It's too bad. He's not quite in sync yet. I think, again, he missed all of spring, and it's just taken a while to get used to it.
Martinez, first of his big day. Good. It's 9-0 early on in this football game. The Ducks over Montana. Start to see the domination of the Montana O-line here. Darius Sanders, Hilliard loses 3 on the play.
Yeah, they're trying to pull a tackle, and Darius is so quick he slipped the block and got in there.
They're trying to throw, but pressure, again, Sanders right there.
Yeah, great job again. Our ends were too tough for them, and again, with Bellotti inside pushing the pocket, it was very difficult for them to protect.
They wanted to review that play, so they took a look at it and came out with the right call. Then Oregon with the football, and good field position again. Clemens to Williams. There was also a personal foul on the play. Takes it all the way to the 33, and then Demetrius for 5 more. Boy, how dependable has Demetrius been so far?
He's done a good job. He's still got a couple of drops every game I'd like to get rid of, and I'd like to see him make a few more yards after the catch, but I'm really pleased with where he's at. He and Kellen have a huge chemistry going right now.
Cameron Colvin to the 20-yard line, but a personal foul on the Ducks brings it back. Clemens looking for Finley, and you get the 15 yards back because you get the PI on that play.
Yeah, nice job by James going through the receiver to the ball. Again, got that call. A little bit of pressure here in the backfield. Then we get a nice job. This one, again, could have been caught. Would have been a huge play. Probably a touchdown had he caught him, but then we'll hang on.
So 3rd and 5, looking for Day again in the red zone, and not a good throw there, incomplete. So here comes Martinez, and, you know, again, good news, bad news situation, but the good news, Martinez is just right through from 40 yards out.
Yeah, he's 11 of 12 in 2 games. That's pretty good. I don't think I'd get too much better than that.
That's going to lead the nation, I think we can safely say,
I guess so.
in field goal kickers. Grizz get it again. They did not get a first down in the first quarter, Coach. They tried everything, the pass complete, but no gain, and they have to punt it again. No first downs in the first quarter.
Great job by outside linebackers and safeties responding to that screen.
So Whitehead for no gain, Tyler Thomas the stop, and then a history maker and a spectacular play.
Jordan Kent wide out to the left. And back to throw. Clemens wants to go deep, going for Kent. He's down there if he can get to the ball. He makes a grab over the top of the helmet, slides down at the 28-yard line.
Looks like he's ready for the NFL.
Yeah, he can still run. Nice catch. This is a great job of adjusting to the ball. Ball's one of those rainbows coming over the top. This is a tough catch, but he does a nice job shielding the DB with his body. We worked on that, and then coming up the big catch.
Great catch. I mean, talk about the concentration that takes, Coach. I mean, to see a ball come over your head like that.
It's hard. That's the toughest catch in the world to make, and he did it, and I'm anxious and excited for him to get more.
Willie Mays style. Clemens to Rosario on first down for 8, and then on 2nd and 2, an incompletion, and then 3rd and 2, Whitehead for 7 to the 13-yard line, and so Oregon with the first down. Coach, it looks like you're going to be able to push it in here, but just not able to get it over the marker, and they step up on the defensive side and are able to stop you.
Yeah, Montana did a nice job. Their off safety came down the field really well. I give them credit. Their linebacker safeties made plays all day long.
This is a 3rd and 1 play. Nowhere really to go. Clemens throws it out of bounds, so keeps it alive for the 4th down play, and you decide to go for it. You tired of field goals right here?
Tired of field goals, and again, disappointed we didn't get it. We missed a block right at the point of attack. We should have been in the end zone probably on that play, and again, didn't get it. Big lift for Montana. Tough for us, but I was tired of field goals. Want to make sure we can push that ball when we need to.
Still 12-0 as the quarter ends. Oregon in command over the Montana Grizzlies. All right, coming up, Demetrius Williams really gets it going. This time, he gets it in the red zone and over the red zone to the end zone. Ducks stretch it out in the second quarter when Oregon football with Mike Bellotti continues right after this.
This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Albertsons and Bi-Mart. This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by RV Corral and Northwest Chevy Dealers.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show, Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. Let's go ahead right to the second quarter highlights. Oregon leading this one 12-0 as we get it going. And, hey, Coach, the Grizz can't get anything going offensively at all until they got a little gift here at the beginning of the quarter. It comes up after this play. Clemens looking down the field, incomplete on that play. And then the next one is a swing play, and the ball goes backwards on this play, and they call it a fumble.
Yeah, it's a poorly thrown pass. It's a poor effort to get to the ball after it was touched by Terrence Whitehead, and again results in a big turnover. And it was a lateral. I don't know if you can see it from this angle or not. You can take a look right here. Ball's thrown backward. It's pretty close, but it is a lateral. The poor effort by Terrence there. Again, it wasn't a well-thrown ball, but he's got to get on that, cover that, because that is a turnover.
So Montana, with just one first down, at this point they had gotten out of their own end zone with one first down beginning of the quarter. They get the ball and just throw one up. Aaron Gibson said he'd never seen a ball thrown so high in his life.
It was that type of thing. It was a jump ball kind of deal. They had play action to hold the safeties. He was one where he mistimed his jump, unfortunately. But the other guy was 6'5", earns about 5'8.5", so he needed to time that jump perfectly.
Talmadge with the touchdown, 12-7 was the score. A nice response drive here, Coach. Stewart for 3 yards, and then Clemens to Rosario for 11. You start picking the way down. This is the offense we saw against Houston right here.
Yeah, nice catch by Dante there, too. Yeah, and I hated to think we needed to respond, that we needed that type of spark to get us going, but it seemed like we did.
11 more there for Demetrius, and then again, this time he's headed deep.
To the right again, Demetrius, the man short left. And 3 guys right and back to throw again. Clemens with time, steps, wants to go deep. Downfield, he's got Demetrius. He's got it on the run. Tackled at the 5-yard line.
Nice throw by Killen. He had missed that same throw earlier in the game. Came back with it right here. Perfectly thrown ball right over the outside shoulder. Demetrius catches it on stride. It's a nice job.
So a huge play there. Takes it all the way down into the red zone again. So Clemens going to try and push this one in from there. Beautifully thrown ball. Clemens this time for 4 yards, and might have pitched it, Coach, but he kept it upside, and he gets close down there to the 3-yard line, but there was a personal foul penalty, so it sent it back to the 17, third and goal from there.
Shotgun back to throw the ball. Waits and looks. Going to go deep. Got Demetrius, and he's got it for the score on the left side of the end zone.
This is a great route by Demetrius. He runs a post corner on the DB. Kellen reads it perfectly, puts the ball right where he can catch it, nobody else. And the timing of the route is absolutely wonderful. Score a touchdown, come back from the adversity of a 15-yard penalty down there was awesome.
That's a tough catch, too, because he's looking over his left shoulder on that sideline. The extra point was blocked, so after all those field goals, Paul Martinez didn't have a conventional extra point.
Well, the first one was his fault. He mishit the ball so badly. This was a protection issue right up the gut. And we need to correct that.
18-7 the score. Here comes the Montana offense again. You can see him starting to get frustrated. A few drop passes. This one, however, that's going to go back on the penalty. This one was not dropped. The other team comes
with 3 receivers now to the right and 1 to the left. Will go back to throw. Rolls toward his right. Throws downfield, and it's picked off and dropped down at the 20-yard line. And Aaron Gibson's got 2 interceptions on the year.
I think actually the quarterback, I'm not sure what he saw. Aaron read the route, perfectly set in the corner area there. Route takes up, our safety covers the up guy. He's sitting in the hole. Nice job of catching the ball.
Did you get some air there on the sideline?
Maybe credit card.
Short field now. Duck start at the Montana 20. Clemens to Weatherspoon. He takes a huge hit, but he holds on to it. That might be the best 4-yard catch ever.
It's a great catch. Not a great read by our quarterback. They set the corner in the zone. And, again, great concentration by Spoon. Get his hands on the ball. Takes a heck of a hit. Unbelievable. And then finds the ball and cradles it in his lap. Great job.
Nice look at it there. And then, Jason Williams on this play makes a great catch, too. One-handed catch. He loses 5 yards. So 2 great catches, and the Ducks have gone backwards.
Yeah, not exactly what they wanted. That was an interior screen. We're too far outside.
3rd and 11. This one too high to Weatherspoon, incomplete. So Martinez on the field again. This one from 38 yards. And you can see it sneaks inside the upright. Good 21 points the hard way, Coach, 21-7.
Yeah, we've worked at it. Again, I'll take him any way we can get him.
Grizz here, Waller for 4 yards. Brent Haberly makes the stop. Montana again forced to punt. This one didn't work out so well.
Low snap, roll to him, dribbles it, now going to have to try to run, and they're going to get it. Ball comes loose, it's on the turf. There'll be a pile-up, but Oregon's going to have it.
That would have been our ball regardless of who got it, but great job again. They mishandled the snap. Not a great snap. We got pressure coming. Our ends are up the field. Haloti right there. Great job. Basically separates the guy from the ball. Then the ball comes back, I think, into his lap when he's sitting there.
That's a pretty good way to get a fumble.
Yeah, not bad.
He gets credited with the fumble recovery, even though it wouldn't have mattered, as you said, Coach. And then Jonathan Stewart fighting forward for 3 yards. And then Clemens to Stewart on the inside option. This is where he hurt his leg. And, Coach, he said there may be a little twisting going on there underneath the pile.
Yeah. Again, it's hard to tell. one of those things you just see and you just hope it doesn't happen.
You see it right there at the left side of your screen, still holding on to the foot. And Jonathan comes out of there. We're going to take another look at it. Jonathan walked out on his own power yesterday. X-ray's negative, so we'll see. Yeah,
he's in a boot. Again, you see right there, it's the other ankle there, and that's it. Yeah, down inside there. Got rid of the ball's out. And it scared all of us, obviously, and I think that we'll just see what happens. We'll know more today.
But the good thing is that he was able to walk out on his own power. That's a real good sign. Another look at it, as you saw there, and then Whitehead for 7 on first down. Then he loses 2 yards here on the play. So 3rd and 5, Coach, and Clemens going to look for Demetrius here, not able to connect.
Yeah, this again would have been a great catch, tough catch. Great job by their safety, and again, probably shouldn't have forced the ball in there.
So Martinez, and he's good from 37, 24-7 at this point. Game pretty much is won here, Coach, because they really cannot move the football at all. They got the 1 touchdown, but they just can't really move the football with any consistency whatsoever.
You're right. Our defense did an absolutely wonderful job of pressuring the quarterback, changing the pocket, and covering down the field.
That was Haverly with the pressure, and then he completes it here, but for no gain. Justin Finnessy comes up and stuffs Waller. Nice play by Justin. Oregon gets it back with 1:11 in the half and timeout, so trying to get some points here. Clemens to Terrell Jackson, dumps it off, 7 yards.
Yeah, little dumb screen, just a safety valve type thing.
And then this one to Tim Day. Good to see Tim catch this one. So the more he's going to get thrown to him, better he's going to get, and makes a nice catch.
Absolutely. And he's a tough guy to bring down once he has the ball in his hands.
After a short run and a first down, ducks back to a 2nd and 15 after the procedure penalty. Kellen, that's the first sack of the year. Let's get back on it. 3rd and 18, Oregon converts.
5 of Montana, so 3rd and 20, and back to throw. Clemens steps up, pressure comes. Can he run it, set up and throw downfield, open, caught. First down at the 22-yard line.
Nice job by James Finley. Nice job of James finding the open area, staying alive for the quarterback. They have to scramble out of the pocket here. Nice job by Kellen getting outside problems, throwing the ball on the run. Really nice throw. Great catch, and again, huge time for it.
Coach, 3rd down conversions, 11 of 22. A great percentage, but an unbelievable number of 3rd downs. 22 3rd downs.
Yeah, we weren't quite as good. Unfortunately, ball off for fingertips there, which would have put the ball at the 4-yard line or maybe better. We centered the ball for the field goal attempt. Called a timeout. Really pretty good clock management here by the team.
And then with 2 seconds on the clock, Martinez comes back out. He kicked so many, I lost track of them. And that was 5 in the first half. 27-7 at the half. They had 2 first downs the entire half, one of them with a touchdown, which of course counts as a first down. But as we talked about there, I mean, just dominant. We talked a lot about Montana playing hard and all those kinds of things. And I think fans saw that. Lost a little bit is how dominant your defense was, especially on the defensive line.
You're right. I was pleased and impressed by our defensive line. I really had challenged them a little bit because I didn't think they played as well against Houston. But Houston does a lot of things to keep you honest and take away your aggressiveness. Montana gave us more of a chance to come after them a little bit. Our guys did a great job up front. I was very pleased. And we got the support in the secondary to help them.
And then offensively, we talked a little bit about the 3rd down situation. 11 of 22, which is great. 50%. It's just 22 3rd downs. I mean, that's amazing number.
Yeah, we weren't getting as many big plays early on. I think, again, a lot of 3rd down situations and a couple that we should have gotten that we didn't get, that we either dropped or we didn't quite convert the situation. I think, again, I'd love to. 50% is a good completion percentage, don't get me wrong, but I'd love to see it be better.
All right, here we go. Coming up at the half. A huge effort of hurricane relief going on at Autzen Stadium on Saturday. We'll tell you all about that, and really throughout all of the college football world, everybody doing what they can to help. And we'll talk a little bit more about instant replay. How you feel about that? More to come on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti at the half after this.
This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by McDonald's and Oregon Community Credit Union. This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Kendall Auto Group and Jerry's Home Improvement.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. We've reached halftime. Oregon leads at 27-7. Now, over the weekend, roughly 4 million people attended college football games across the nation. And just about all of those games, fans were asked to help the Red Cross with the huge challenge they face with Hurricane Katrina relief. At Oregon, the effort was taken to another level. Fans asked to give whatever they could. Ducks hoping to raise as much as $1 million. And that's about a $20 average per fan at Autzen on Saturday. Now, if you happen to miss the stations outside the stadium, you can still call 1-800-HELP-NOW. As it is, there were so many donations, the Red Cross is still counting the money. But those in charge say they'll be sending a huge check down south, but they still need more.
And we have a concern that this may be a longer disaster than normal. Usually we're in for 3 weeks, 4 weeks and out, but because of the devastation that happened and the broad span of that hurricane, it's going to be a longer haul this time.
Now, besides Paul Martinez's 6 field goals, there was another little bit of history made at Autzen on Saturday, and that being the use of instant replay for the first time in the history of the stadium. Now, the replay didn't work out in Oregon's favor, but it was the right call, confirming that Washington's pass was indeed a forward pass, not a fumble. In the Pac-10, there's an official in the booth, and he just decides what plays he's going to review, unlike a week ago where the official on the field is the one that conducts the review. Longtime Pac-10 official Gordon Reese, who retired from the field last year, was in the booth on Saturday. Now, that brings us to today's internet poll question. Now that you've seen it at a Duck game, and you've seen it extensively if you've watched any other college football action this weekend, do you like it or not? Pretty simple. Favor the system or oppose the system. Go to www.chambersports.com, place your vote, and we'll have the results next week on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. All right, coming up, second half action. Not all field goals for the Ducks on Saturday. Clemens finding Colvin, and the Ducks taking command. Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. Back after this.
This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Pacific Continental Bank and Steelhead Brewery. This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Comcast and Northwest Ford Dealers.
Welcome back, everyone. Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti as we move into the second half here, and Oregon leading this one in command. Pretty much Montana not able to move the ball. So, Coach, what did you say to the guys at halftime about intensity and trying to keep it going?
Great job, defense. Keep it up. Touchdowns, not field goals. Better coverage on special teams.
Were you generally happy with the way your team was playing?
Yes, I was. 27-7. I think, again, that we could have gotten more but didn't, and I just wanted to challenge them to keep it up.
This was a big break for them because the ball came down and just kind of a fluke hit on Kyle Weatherspoon here as the ball came down. It was a bad punt, and that's why it ended up hitting him because it was so short.
Yeah, they didn't punt very well all day. Here again, Justin Finney's got to make a call to alert Kyle to that. Sort of hung him out to dry. The ball hits him. That's a big break for them.
This was a play that could have been reviewed, though, because there was an angle that showed that it might have hit off the Montana player's shin. So that was one of the plays that should have been reviewed that was not reviewed. They have the ball at the 22-yard line, and they go right backwards, Coach. Washington, the loss of 3 on the play. Anthony Trucks is there. He led the team in tackles again this week, and he's playing very well for you.
He's doing a great job. Again, Anthony's a great athlete, and we talked about him being a disruptor. And, again, it's nice to see our guys in their backfield meeting the handoff point.
So they have to attempt the field goal, and this one is kicked and is hooked so bad it almost lands in Coburg. Their drive, 4 plays, -3 yards. That's what you love to see out of your defense.
It was a great response from our defense to the tough situation they've been put in.
Clemens looking now to throw the ball. Gets it out there to Terrell Jackson for 5 yards. And Kyle Weatherspoon really showed up well in the second half, and he gets the one here for 13 yards.
Yeah, he made some plays. He takes the pitch on the option right here, does a nice job to turn it up, gets up the field pretty well, shows a burst.
And then Weatherspoon for 6 more to the Montana 49-yard line. You know, Coach, there were so many different guys. 12 different guys got the ball. Also, Garen Strong and Brian Pasinger weren't even playing in this game. It shows the depth of your team, and also, when you play a team like Montana, they're not going to be able to match your depth.
Right, and again, we spread the ball. I think, again, 12 guys or whatever, throw it. Here's a fake punt. Again, we just tried to keep them honest. We need to work on some things, obviously. But pleased with that we could show it. We could take some chances against Montana because we're in command. I want to make sure people don't overload us.
So here's a look at it again, Coach. What was supposed to happen? Out here to the corner or what?
Yeah, we got 2 receivers out to the corner. Got a run-pass option for the punter. Again, it's one of those plays you sort of drop in the dirt,
He threw it to Justin Anderson. He's like, hey, I'm not supposed to be a receiver.
Yeah, he's not a receiver. He's not an eligible receiver in that situation.
So Montana takes over after a couple of traded punts, and then Haloti just on the defensive line. All the guys dominated, but Haloti was just everywhere. They couldn't handle him at all.
No, and they couldn't double team. He split the double teams. He beat single blocks. He ran sideline to sideline. Did a nice job. He became more the kind of player I believe he should be every week this week.
They had the punt. Oregon takes over on the 37, a short field. Finley for 5 yards here. And then Clemens on 3rd down here to Dante Rosario. Nice 8-yard and the 3rd down conversion.
Dante's come up. Most of his catches come for third down conversions or touchdowns. Sort of nice.
Yeah, very reliable. Whitehead for 11 yards to the 13. Another first down there. And then Clemens, this time going to go back and find James Finley on first down. This takes it to the 4-yard line. 2nd down and 1 at the 4 for Clemens and crew.
From no huddle, shotgun. Clemens looks. He could run it, but does not. Throws instead. Cameron Coleman, touchdown, wide open, back to the end zone.
Nice job seeing the field by Kellen Clemens. We were in no huddle here. We sort of wanted to change the tempo of the game. Felt like we were getting too complacent. Nice job by our offense moving the ball down the field. Kellen finds a wide open Cameron Coleman back to the end zone. Nice throwing catch.
So it makes it 33-7. You go for 2 on the swinging gate play. Maybe a little bit more for Fresno to think about, huh, Coach?
Well, we tried it last week, didn't get the opportunity. We got it. Schwartz got his first touch, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, they credited it for Schwartz. The official actually raised his arms like touchdown right when Matt Toina went over with the ball. So, you know, they credit to Schwartz, whatever. They'll have to argue about that amongst each other,
I'll
right?
let them argue about that one. I'm just happy it worked. You're right. It does give the other teams a lot to think about.
Might be the only 2 points those guys are ever going to get to argue about.
Yes, true. That is true.
Maybe when they play a little hoops together. The Grizz going backwards again. Remember, they still only have a couple of first downs at this point. Washington sacked by Victor Felipe. Coach, let's look at it again. And a nice look here at Victor to get a chance to see him.
Yeah, they're trying to run a bootleg, and Victor just beats the guard as they're so quick. He's right in the quarterback's face. He's got tremendous speed and athleticism.
How is Devin Long coming along, by the way, for next week?
We'll find out. He'll run around tomorrow. If there's no setbacks, I'm sure he'll play this week.
2nd and 19, Hilliard for no gain. Trucks the stop, and that ends the quarter. Sets the defense up for the final period. They lead at 35-7. The Ducks do after 3 quarters, and you know, I guess the 4th quarter, it's a chance to get a lot of guys in. I know that's something you really wanted to have happen for this game.
It was, and I told our guys at halftime, I said, hey, I want us to play with pride and poise so that we can play. Everybody feels like they can contribute, and we don't drop off in terms of the quality of what we do. And I said offense, defense, and special teams, and I was pleased with the development over the course of the game, just continue to build that lead.
And a good chance for your player from Montana to get in the game in the 2nd half. Coming up, we'll show you that. Brady Leaf does get in the football game against his home state team, and the defense, again, dominant against the Grizzlies. They even find a way to get themselves on the scoreboard. More coming up next on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti right after these messages.
This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Oregon Electric Station and Doyle's Harley-Davidson. This Oregon Sports Program is brought to you by Ward Insurance and Eugene Home Sales Center.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get on to the 4th quarter. And, boy, that was a nice sunny day. It would have been nice to have that yesterday. It rained a little bit. 2 years in a row with the home opener. But 4th quarter, Coach, the defense comes on. The sun did come out a little bit. People had a good time in the game. Big crowd, 58,000, and they got to see the defense score as well.
Back, play fake to throw. Looks, throws into the end zone. It'll be a safety. They got to him.
Darius Sanders and Haloti Nada really combine on this. Darius beats his man. A guy they're doubling, Haloti has to come off to help. And then again, Haloti gets in the first contact right there. Darius helps to finish it up. Tries to throw it away, cannot do that in the end zone. Automatic safety.
I think that was about the only way you didn't score of the day. So, hey, you scored every conceivable way you could score in the 2-pointer, and then another big play on the ensuing kickoff.
Very high. Takes it at the 31, 33, 35, 40, 50. He's free. Here he goes. 30-yard line, and they're going to catch him from behind at the 18, maybe the 17-yard line.
Nice job by Andy Brown. Nice blocking, first of all, up front. You see again on the kick, it's sort of a high, not a pooch kick, but they kicked it high, not very far. Comes up. We get some cross blocks there. You're going to see this right there. Boom. It opens away. Andy hits it. That's the whole key, to hit it with speed, and then it just runs out of gas just a little bit. Great job, though, around the ball.
Almost had it all the way to the end zone, but great field position for Oregon, of course, to get it to the 17-yard line. Dennis Dixon is the quarterback now. So really, Dixon gets pretty much all the work in the 4th quarter, except for Brady Leaf later. Dennis is a great runner. You see it right here.
Yeah, he does a nice job. He's magic with the ball in his hands. He was a little anxious early. Does a good job right here. Actually powers this down, almost scores. The ball, again, just can't quite get it in there because it's held down at his waist. We don't get enough push right here on the quarterback sneak. Second effort almost gets in again. We don't want him to put the ball out of there in case it gets batted out.
And this might have been pretty frustrating, Coach. I know you wanted to pound this one in, and Montana stood up, and they were able to have the goal line stand. So Martinez comes back in, and he hits the field goal. I know you wanted 7 there, though.
Well, I did, but I know the fans did, but I also wanted Paul to get the record. I think he deserves that. He came close last week, so we decided we'd get it for him this week.
And Paul Martinez will be our guest on Monday Night Live tomorrow night, so make sure you tune in for that for this record-setting day. Montana comes back. Jackie Bates, the stop. Nice job by Jackie. Now, earlier, Gibson had his second interception. Rodney Woods keeping pace.
Rolling left to throw. Washington now will throw, and it is intercepted. What a grab. And Rodney Woods in and takes it down at the 38-yard line.
Rodney Woods doing a nice job again. Lays off the receiver, sort of not baits the quarterback, but just is there and then makes a great catch again. Coming up here, diving type thing. Awesome job. He's a very good, he used to be a great punt returner, getting better every week.
So the Ducks start at the 39. This time, no running necessary.
39-yard line for Dixon. And Dennis Dixon back to throw the ball. Straight drop back, looks over the middle, and he's got a man open. It is caught. 10-yard line. 5, 4, 3. Touchdown, Witherspoon.
It's a great throw and catch, and then a great effort to break a tackle and get in the end zone. Nice read by Dennis. Sees the too deep alignment, throws it right over the underneath defender, right in the seam. Perfectly thrown ball. Kyle catches it, then breaks a tackle, drops his pads just enough to get through that, races on in the end zone.
You know, first, like you said, Coach, a great throw. Kyle's scrappy, though, huh? I mean, he really fights.
Yeah, he's a good football player. Really does. He plays on the special teams for us. He can do a good job. He's just sort of coming into his own.
Remember, he made that great catch that kept that drive line against Cal a couple of years ago. And so he's made some nice big plays for Oregon in his career and doing a good job against Montana. Plenty of reserves in now, Coach, and they put together their best drive of the day. Their fans very happy that they could get a touchdown. It was against your reserves. I know you need to see these guys play, don't you?
Yeah, we do, and they were the beneficiary of some of our mistakes, and oftentimes that's one of the frustrating things, but we have to get better at that. We have to have more pride on defense, and again, we give them some opportunities. I'll say blow a coverage here, which again allows them to score, but give them credit, they scrapped at the end.
It was a 4th and 1 play that they actually got it, and then Brady Leaf gets in the game, and maybe some people thought, you know, Oregon's trying to get another number on the board. This is just getting Brady a chance to throw the ball and run the offense.
Yeah, it's just running the offense. Brady did a nice job. We wanted to be able to throw, and he does a nice job. Here you see his poise in the pocket. He steps up, drifts up, still eyes downfield, sees the receiver, puts it right on the money.
And I guess the thing is, Coach, you never know how many other opportunities Brady's going to get to be in a game, and this is against his home state school. You want him to play.
That's true. That is true.
And he was very excited after the game, and he said that, you know, I don't think people realize how important that was to me, you know, and maybe people thought the game was over or trying to run it up, but it was important to him, and I felt good for Brady.
Well, I thought he operated the offense very well. He put some passes right on the money here. This one just a little overthrown, but overall very pleased with his performance. I think we are 3 deep at quarterback that can all play.
So a dominating win. Oregon wins it 47-14. Clearly a great win for Oregon as far as the defense goes. Offense moving the ball and still working on some red zone. But a win that left the Ducks knowing that they can do much, much more than they did on Saturday, and they'll be hungry when Fresno State comes to town next week.
Yeah, it was fun. Didn't really think about the record the whole time. I mean, I wanted it because I'd missed it last week by 1 kick. I just took 1 kick at a time. A couple people kept on asking how many field goals I had that game or this game, and I told them I don't know. I really don't care. I'm just worried about the next one.
All week we've been working on, being more disciplined because we knew that Montana was a good disciplined team. They in the championship, past couple years, and we knew that they weren't going to give up on us. So we throughout the whole week we've been working real hard. Coach has been pushing us, so it's been a good defensive week for us today.
Unsatisfied today. First of all, we got to run the ball better, and then I need to complete more passes. I had some guys open and didn't hit them. Had a couple throws and I wish I could have gotten back. All in all, we'll take it.
It doesn't feel over-satisfying. It's not like we came in, we beat an SC or Fresno State. I think that as a defense, as a team, we got to keep this win in perspective and who we were playing And just know that next week is going to be a lot tougher game.
There's a lot of things we need to go back and correct on film. Coach will have all that out probably for us on Monday. But we just enjoyed the win tonight, and then tomorrow, you know, it's just back to business, I think. We got to get in, watch film on Fresno State. I mean, they're a good team. They always are a good team. You know, they're going to come in here excited, ready to play. And I think that we need to, you know, come in with the same, match their intensity, if not exceed it.
So, Coach, I think the guys, you know, all of them after the game, they know Fresno State's a great team. They seemed hungry. They know they can play better than they did, even though it was a good win. But you could see in their eyes that they know this is a huge game coming up.
Absolutely. I think, again, Fresno's a bowl winner last year, a top 25 ranked team, 9-victory team last year, plays tough on the road wherever they go. They've played Tennessee and all kinds of teams on the road. I expect their best game. I'm sure for us, the good thing is we can talk about needing to improve in these areas being 2-0. And our kids understand it. They're listening. It's not like sometimes going on deaf ears. They understand that we're stepping up in a level of competition from anybody we've played yet. And this is a top 25 bowl team.
Kellen said it best. I think bottom line, we're 2-0, and now ready to head into a huge stretch in the schedule. And we'll talk about Fresno State. The big one coming to town. The team will be ready. The fans got to bring it, too, for this one. The Bulldogs are in the top 25 with what they call maybe their best team ever, and they've had some good ones. Start getting ready now. The Ducks and Fresno State. A first look at the Bulldogs after this when we return on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti.
This Oregon Sports program is brought to you by Albertsons and Bi-Mart.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, it's a big one this week, Coach. Fresno State, a lot of people expected Oregon to be 2-0, and I know you're happy to be 2-0. Boy, it really gets serious now because Fresno State is a very, very good team. They had a big win over Weber State last night. We'll look at it and talk about this team as well at the same time. Paul Pinniger, 4-year starter at quarterback. You know, if he wins a bowl game this year, Coach, he'll become the first quarterback in NCAA history to win 4 bowl games.
It's pretty amazing. Paul actually hails from Woodland High School, where I used to teach and coach a long time ago. So I'm proud of him in that regard. I don't wish him too much luck this week.
Well, he's got a big, strong arm. They always have a lot of speed, Coach. They built this team around speed. They recruit almost exclusively in California. Of 115 guys on their roster, 109 are from California. The other are from Reno. So they go after speed. They always have a lot of great speed. And Pat Hill does a great job.
Pat and his staff have done a great job of creating a positive attitude, offense, defense, and special teams. They're a well-coached team. They're a tough physical team that comes after you. They got 3 running backs that have all gained 1,000 yards within the season, which is a heck of a 1-2-3 punch. And again, you can see it here just in terms of power running game. They block well. They're a physical football team up front.
The other thing that, of course, will be a big concern this week and a real step up for Oregon is they play their 3rd straight team that wears a red variation of a red uniform. Special teams. They are so good on special teams, and they've always been good here. You go back to Bernard Berrien, and now they have the speedsters returning punts, 2 punt returns for touchdowns against Weber State.
2 punt returns for touchdowns in this game, and again, 2 different guys. The key in this regard is that you can never take it down off. Special teams are so important. When we talk about early in the season, that's why we worry about the fakes and all those things, but you have to just cover. You have to make people play honest.
Well, they come hard and they come fast, and I know that you're going to really ratchet up the intensity this week. Your team will have to play their best game, probably, I would think, to win this one. They're a good team.
Absolutely. We have to improve it. And the nice thing is we're sitting there 2-0, knowing what we need to do to improve, talking about it, and I feel good about our football team. We have some things we've got to work on. The offensive intensity in terms of the red zone, running the football, but overall, and kickoff coverage. Those things right now jump out at me, but we're a good group of kids. They want to run. They understand the challenge of Fresno State.
And it'll be great to see the fans be hungry, too, for this one. Need to be at a fever pitch, just like the Michigan game. I know it's not Michigan, but, hey, this is a top 25 team and a big game coming up at Autzen. All right, coming up, you see the name, and the first question is always, is he related to the greatest linebacker in football history? The answer is yes. Luke Butkus trying to forge his own path to stardom, not by starring in a movie or a TV show or being an NFL Hall of Famer, but by being a coach. That and more next on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti.
This Oregon Sports program is brought to you by RV Corral and Northwest Chevy Dealers. This Oregon Sports program is brought to you by McDonald's and Oregon Community Credit Union.
Welcome back to Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. With the change-up on Oregon's coaching staff this season, one addition has kind of slipped in under the radar. And considering that he's lived in the shadow of his famous uncle, who also happens to be one of the greatest linebackers ever to play the game of football, coming in under the radar is just fine for Luke Butkus.
can walk the Oregon sidelines nearly in anonymity. It's the preferable state for anyone who has to live in the shadow of a famous relative. But when that relative is the greatest linebacker to ever play the game, well, for the Ducks graduate assistant Luke Butkus, that's a huge shadow.
And how many times have you answered that question?
I couldn't even tell you. It's been so many times.
200?
More like 1 million, 2 million.
Oregon is a place for Butkus to create his own identity and his own future. As a 3-year starter at center for Illinois, Butkus was in the constant spotlight for the Illini and in the city of Chicago, where Dick Butkus exploded opposing ball carriers. There were unrealistic expectations placed on him just because of his last name and the uncanny resemblance to his famous uncle. But like so many before him from his part of the country, he came west for a new life.
Oh, as a coach, I mean, as a player, that's all I wanted to do. You know, I understand. It's, you know, he was a great player, great guy. I love him. He's my uncle. But now as a coach, I mean, it's totally different. He's never coached, and now I'm here to coach, to stay in the game of football.
This is not to say that Butkus doesn't embrace the legacy of his uncle, his style, his reckless abandon approach to the game. In fact, it must be a family thing, because he wants to bring those very same traits to Oregon's offensive line.
A little intensity, a little enthusiasm, just, you know, playing the game the way it should be played, you know, tough and going hard and going fast.
And unlike many schools where graduate assistants are afterthoughts, at Oregon and working for offensive line coach Steve Greatwood, that is not the case.
It's great because Coach Greatwood is a great coach and he knows what he's talking about. And, you know, he gives me a little bit of leeway in coaching. He actually lets me coach on the field, in which I like.
His players like it too, able to relate to Butkus the coach without having the real knowledge about his uncle. In fact, Oregon's linemen are so young, they know more about Dick Butkus the actor.
Here you go, kid. Welcome to the NFL.
Than Dick Butkus the football player. From the classic Disney movie Gus to Any Given Sunday and TV shows and commercials in between, which for Luke is just fine.
I just laugh because I see him, you know, when we're around each other, we don't talk football. Or we do, but we talk, you know, more, you know, family stuff, how, you know, how everyone's doing and everything like that. So it just, you know, makes you laugh a little bit. I can't really rate it, and you know, he's making a lot of money doing it, so, hey.
Someday Luke may hit the big bucks rather than the meager stipend he lives on now, but he is living his dream. His previous knowledge of Oregon only coming because his 2001 Illinois team won the Big Ten and should have played Pac-10 champion Oregon in the Rose Bowl. But that was the first year the Rose Bowl didn't match the Pac-10 and the Big Ten, and Illinois went to the Sugar Bowl instead. Like many of the Oregon players, he felt cheated.
I can't even explain it. I mean, my senior year in college, being a Big Ten team, Oregon winning Pac-10, us winning the Big Ten, we should have played each other in the Rose Bowl. Something you can't explain. I never really, you know, got to experience that, and I wish I did.
Now he's taking control of his own destiny, his purpose as crisp as one of his uncle's big hits.
I want to be part of the game, and I always wanted to play it, and I always knew I wanted to coach after I was done playing. And, you know, unfortunately, the playing career didn't last as long as I wanted it to, but I'm happy to be here, and not just happy to be here. I want to be here, and I want to win, and I think that's what we're going to do.
Coach?
Luke's going to be a great coach.
It'll be fun to watch him in his action at Oregon, and the big one coming up against Fresno.